Oh my God, can we pick it up?
I'm Elle.
And I'm Pat, and we are Paddock 43.
And this is your F1 fix. It's a Qashqai.
Yeah, I love it.
I keep wanting to call it Cash Cow.
No, it's a Qashqai.
But I want to call it a Cash
It's
Cow.
a Nissan Qashqai E-Power.
E-Power. E-Power. She's quiet. But yeah,
Qashqai.
Qashqai.
I always remember the name of the Qashqai because when I was at university, Nissan came out to do a talk. It was just as they launched the Qashqai, and they did this massive marketing exercise around how to get people to understand that it's a Qashqai, not like a Qashqai.
I thought Qashqai. I don't know.
Qashqai.
I don't even know what I'm singing, but I kept saying it last night to Tom. I was like, oh yeah, we are recording in the Qashqai. I'm saying it.
The Nissan Qashqai E-Power. Nissan Qashqai E-Power. Hey, Elle.
Hi.
I like your hat.
I like my hat too. I was going to say I like your hat, but you're not wearing a hat.
I like my suitcase.
I like my suitcase. Should we start this?
Well, yeah.
It's really quiet, just for anyone that wants to know. And it's bright red. And Pat is currently driving a bright yellow Duke.
Yeah, actually, no, yours is a bit more of a subtle red compared to the yellow that I'm driving.
Ooh.
That's
I'm
lovely.
not sure if it gives you a nice little tune. And also when you turn this car on, the driver's seat moves into your position.
That was lovely. That was like if you're having a bad day, that will make me feel
it's
better.
great in the morning as well.
Yeah. When you're rushing like a mad person.
Yeah, if you're rushing, if you were like, I'm late for Pilates, and then that makes a noise and it does like the slowly thing, you'd be like,
I love it.
all right, should we get going?
Let's get going. Do you know what I'm literally noticing?
It's so quiet.
Actually, I was going to say, for those that don't know, so the E-Power range in Nissan are all their electric vehicles. So they call them the E-Power.
They call them E-Power. So we originally said hybrid, and they said no, Toyota is hybrid. So that was actually a really good learning curve because I think a lot of companies call them hybrid.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just like the terminology that we're all learning. It's like, can I have a Kleenex? That's actually a brand, not a tissue. That's what people think.
I always say Kleenex. Oh my God. I think as well, it's like a blanket though. That's the thing, is like the hybrid is the blanket, because you can say an electric vehicle is different to a hybrid.
Yeah.
Obviously plug-in hybrid is different to electric, but I'm just noticing.
I'm pretty sure that MG call them hybrids as well.
Okay.
Funny enough.
I've just noticed how incredible the lighting is in here. The lighting is really good on camera because the sky roof is massive, and
the sunroof is huge.
The sunroof is huge. Also, I mean, I haven't had a chance to drive the Qashqai, so I'll have to get my hands on it. But something that I've noticed as well is it looks like it has really good visibility.
The visibility in this car is fantastic. You can see anything and everything that's going on. When I was driving it back from the Yarra Valley last week, I was like, I feel like I'm exposed, and definitely had more visibility than fucking Lando Norris in his expensive lawnmower incident against Max Verstappen coming out of the entry. Because, I mean, he's an open E. You'd think he had to have visibility. Yeah,
I recently noticed, driving other cars, just actually how not great the visibility is in my car.
Your cars were good.
No. It's got incredible cameras, but the visibility isn't as good. So being able to, there's always blind spots. I feel like this car doesn't look like it has a lot of blind spots. So you're having a play with the wheel there.
I would like to bring the wheel out to me.
Yeah, it does look a bit far. Has Tom been driving this?
No, if you can see my arms right now. I'm really far away, but I can't bring the seat any closer because my legs will be squished. I feel like that's going to be a later day issue.
A later day issue.
Does that even make sense? Can't even be tired because it's not like we watched the race very late.
I know.
It was a normal hour. And, I mean, you watched it in the best case scenario. You're at the pub with everyone.
Woo!
How was it? Can you tell me how the watch party went?
The watch party, yeah. So we had our watch party yesterday. Also, for all our new listeners that are listening in that came yesterday, welcome. Love to see you. Love to have you here.
Hi.
She's fixed the wheel for those.
No,
listening.
I haven't fixed it.
Oh, okay.
I just accidentally put it down, then put it back up.
Oh, yes. For those lovely listeners, the lovely people that came yesterday. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, it was such a fun event. I just love our community. I love seeing our community grow. I loved greeting people and asking, is it your first time? And so many people said yes. So it's so good, and everyone's just like, this is so great. And people that are like, oh, I lived around the corner, I didn't realize that, you know, they had these. I was like, yep, we sure do, only when time permits.
4 times a year.
Well, yes, maybe 5, depending. We are gonna see if we can get some other ones in the pipeline, but obviously it is tricky with F1 restrictions and
broadcasting rights.
Pretty much, rights.
So, for anyone that isn't aware, Liberty Media own F1, and they have insanely strict broadcasting rights. So these events that we host are free, because if we ticketed them, we would get in trouble, because people pay for those broadcasting rights. So that's why we make it very much a community event. Everyone's welcome, and it's a novelty of going to the pub. Now, we want to do something for Miami, and we want to do like a little breakfast thing.
Yeah.
But it's finding a venue that is going to have the broadcasting rights to play it at 6 in the morning.
And I did speak about it with the Orrong Hotel with Cara, lovely Cara. If you're listening, shout out to you, you're the best. And she was like, we could do it, but the other thing as well, she's like, they do coffee, but coffee's not really their specialty, because obviously they're a pub. Also, she says that they struggle to find staff. Now, there are a couple of cafes that might have something, but yeah, when it comes to broadcasting rights as well, I mean, I think it's like any sport really, that, you know, when the UFC and all those things are on, that there's only certain places that can legally show it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see. But yesterday was incredible. It was such a fun event. Like always, you know, when we're hosting, it's very hard to watch the full race, because you're sort of running around making sure everything's running smoothly and making sure everyone's having a good time, and making sure everyone's
the sim going as well.
Yeah, we had the sim going, even though, thank you, Peter, for my husband, for taking the reins on that one. But yes, so I was like, I'm going to rewatch this race at home, and to be fair, if any race to be distracted in, that was a good one, because it was not a very eventful race for many of you, but so it was always, so it's good being amongst the crowds, because if we had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch that.
Yeah, so I was on a Qantas flight coming back from Brisbane. I had booked this trip ages ago, and I didn't really consider the times and that we would have an event when I booked this trip. But the flight was delayed, and then they said there was a really strong headwind, so that was also going to delay us landing. It was like this whole big thing. But we had Wi-Fi on the plane.
Yeah, so
and
lucky.
So I was watching it, and it was like kind of going in and out, and then obviously get off and you're waiting for your luggage. Tom's mum picked us up, and I was just like, I'm not missing anything out on this race. It was so boring. There was like that one instance, which we all know which that instance was. What happened, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was interesting. But before we properly dive into race weekend, I have my little Pat Social Corner.
Social Corner is back.
Yeah, it's back. Actually, look, to be honest, there wasn't much going on, but I did see something, and I don't know if you saw it. Did you see Lance Stroll's yacht?
No. They got a new one, didn't they?
Well, yes. So I saw this video circulating of Lance Stroll's yacht in a Dutch canal, and it was a real like first world problems. So basically,
what was it, stuck?
Yeah, as in no, so it's basically, do you remember, I don't know if people remember what happened in the Suez Canal with that ship that
got stuck.
Yeah, so
I was joking, it actually got stuck.
Well, it didn't get stuck, but basically his super yacht is so big, and the Dutch canals are actually quite large. Lots of yachts go through those canals, no issues. His super yacht is so huge that he was trying to, not him.
He wasn't
his
driving
captain. His captain and stuff.
His
crew, they were trying to maneuver it through the Dutch canal to get it from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And you see, it looks just like the canal isn't that big, but when you see this yacht next to the houses, the houses look like little tiny Salvanian family houses. Like, they are minuscule.
Yeah.
And this yacht is huge, and they were basically trying to get it through and going at a snail's pace trying to get it through, and it was basically almost stuck. But it made it through in the end, which I thought was very funny, and just, you know, where Lance Stroll is at in his life.
Well, speaking of yachts, I got one to add to your social corner.
Max?
Kelly had another baby shower on her yacht in Monaco this
Wait,
time.
did she?
Yeah.
Wait, I missed that.
Yeah, she had another one.
She had another one on her new. Oh, that's why there were balloons on the yacht.
So
okay.
she's supposed to
Yes.
actually. I think she's due. So Max is like likely. I don't know. Is Max going to miss a race if he has Bebe?
I know that's good. We have discussed this and we have no idea what the answer is.
Because
to this.
okay, so what have we got next? What races have we got? coming
Bahrain.
up?
We've got Bahrain next
Yeah.
weekend.
Yep.
And
then Saudi Arabia.
And then Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was always under the impression that she was due now.
Look, to be fair, I
And she had
think
another baby shower in Monaco on the yacht.
to be fair, I think they are probably very happy that their date isn't. I mean, Australia's over.
Yeah. It's just a
And that
little
she
bit
didn't go
closer.
early.
I mean, it's not like he's got his own private jet that he goes around.
But at least like Bahrain and Saudi Arabia is a lot closer
Yeah.
to Europe.
So if anyone's wondering who Kelly is Max Verstappen's girlfriend. She is Kelly Piquet.
Kelly Piquet.
Kelly Piquet. If you know,
Racing royalty.
Yeah, racing royalty.
Her dad was an incredible driver. So
And
as
her
we've
previous partner was Max's teammate.
said,
And
that's a whole other thing we can get into another time.
she dumped him and started going out with Max.
Yes. Yeah, so baby is going to be an incredible driver because it's going to be in its veins.
Yeah, it's in his veins.
Yeah, future F1 driver for sure. But yeah, so they did have it. Yeah, well, their yacht is ready to go. What's it called? The something lion, like some lame name, the growling lion. I don't know. But anyway, that's all we got time for my social corner. So race weekend.
You know what's not a race weekend right now?
I know this.
The speeds that I'm going at.
Yeah. I think I get so frustrated at cars that are trying to park and they're just not cooperating.
And
Thank you for going so slow.
But they go like 100
Snail
or 200 meters with their indicator on at like 10k an hour and you can't overtake them and you're just like, really? I mean, I can, like, the cool thing about the Qashqai, it does have one of those holographic things where it puts your speed and what the speed limit actually is.
That's called a heads-up display.
Heads-up display. I haven't had one of them before. I am actually...
What? The Defender didn't have a heads-up display?
No, maybe... no, it didn't. I don't think we opted for that because I actually find it quite distracting. I know
you can turn it off.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like it. I can't get around it, unfortunately.
Yeah, surely the Defender would have had it. You probably turned it off.
I don't like it. I do think it is cool for if you are...
I love a heads-up display.
You know, you need to know the speed limit. But it's like, okay, so my old little Mercedes, it had parking assist, so it could park for you.
Oh, I don't
Never used
that.
it.
No,
It scared me. It could do it perfectly, but I was like, nah, don't rely on it.
No.
It's like cameras. I actually can't rely on a reverse camera and all that sort of stuff. I need to look.
Yeah, I don't use that stuff either. I'm not a parking assist girl. I'm not a cruise control girl. I'd rather just be in control of the car myself. But for people that like that sort of
control
thing,
of the car themselves, was Jack doing in control of the car himself?
Jack.
We need to discuss the situation.
Jack.
So the theory is that Jack reckoned in the simulator on the Japan track on the simulator, that he could use DRS going into turn 1. And he thought, I'm going to try that in free practice. Now, you can't use DRS when you're on the brakes or turning. So, very confusing. So, I don't know if he thought that he could use it for a split second from, like, going into turn 1. Like, say, if he'd already done a lap going around and then he was using that moment to get into it and then break out of DRS and go into it. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Like, I'm in two minds because I'm like, well, good on you for trying.
Good on you for trying something
But
new,
then
but it's just like, wrong time and place to be trying something.
Well, I mean, I'd rather
track record. And Flavio, like, okay, so Franco Colapinto, he's been test driving the Alpine all week.
I know.
They've had him in the Alpine car all week. Back in the factory track.
Yeah, I think
So I don't think that's a good sign after
necessarily.
this triple header. I reckon they've got giving Jack 2 more and then
Yeah, I think
out
he
by
hasn't,
Miami.
he hasn't got long to go. But when you said he's like he has race engineers that are speaking to, you know, there's so many elements, and why, if other drivers aren't doing it, why are you doing it? At the same time, obviously it's better that he did it in practice than in a race.
I know, but he completely fucked that car.
But
Like,
yeah,
that was a bad crash.
yeah, he's probably
was
winning the
impressed.
Jeep
I mean,
Instructors right
impressed
now.
by the quality of the car and how it protects the drivers, that he walked away.
Oh my gosh,
Fine.
thank God. I know, it was such a massive
Yeah.
impact, and going into crashing at a high speed is already huge, and on top of that with DRS, like, thank God he's okay. But yeah, he did not do well, and I did feel for him. I did think, like, good on him for trying, but also, yeah, probably not a good call to do that. No.
Time and place, and that was not the time.
Wrong time
and
and place. But yeah, happy he walked away okay. Quali. Max.
He was quick. They were all quick in quali.
They were quick.
They were all really quick in quali. I mean, at one point it was Oscar that beat Seb Vettel's 2019 time, and then it was Max, and it was just like, you're all quick.
Yeah, Suzuka
I mean,
is a fast track, which
Can we
we
talk
love
about how
to
many
see.
bloody fires there are? Like,
Oh my
okay,
yeah.
have they not learned?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know every year at Suzuka there
There's
are little
fire.
grass fires.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last year because we looked into it, and I wish I listened back to our episode because it's actually something that's been put out of my brain, but I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the quality of the grass that they have, that even a little bit of a spark or like heat or something like that it actually can catch fire a lot quicker. Is that what it is?
Yeah, something to do with the grass.
Yeah.
And obviously there's sparks on the track.
So it's a different kind of grass, which makes it, complicated. But can't they do something about it? I mean, what we have, like 7 grass fires during qualifying?
Yeah. What was Charles Leclerc's radio? It was like,
there's another fire,
there's another fire.
And then people
Yes,
putting
there's
it
fire.
up. Yeah.
Yes, there's
his
fire.
engineer was like, yes, then it's probably a fire.
Yes, there's probably
It's
a fire.
When he said there was water in his seat, and they're like, yes, that would be the rain. Oh, Giles.
Drivers.
What did you think of quali?
Yeah, like, I mean, I've done a complete 180 on Isaac Hajar.
Oh no, how fucking good is he?
So proud of you, Isaac.
I mean, the fact
so
that he got
well
points in
done.
the race, I was like, damn.
Well, yes, he did get points in the race, that too. And he out-qualified Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, and as like, Isaac, we know, idolizes Lewis.
Yeah.
When he had his crash and DNF in Australia, Lewis's dad comforted Isaac, which was, beautiful
Heartfelt moment.
We are all very, very happy about that little moment.
Yes, we are.
And Isaac has always looked up to Lewis, and Lewis knows that, and Lewis is owning it. He's like, yes, go Isaac.
Yeah.
And then when it was actually quite funny during the race, because you were at the pub, you probably couldn't hear the commentary, but when Lewis overtook Isaac, they were saying in the comments, being like, oh my god, Isaac's going to remember that for the rest of his life, the moment that Lewis overtook him, and now he can sit behind Lewis for the rest of the race and learn how he drives.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac probably doesn't care that Lewis overtook him,
he's
and
like,
that he's getting
go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
Take this moment. You've given me the moment that you overtook me, and now I get to sit and watch you.
Yes.
I was like, I like that.
Yeah, so do I. I love it. I love it. But also Yuki, I was so bummed that he was out in Q2. I was like,
It was amazing that Liam
Q1.
made it as far as he did. Like, obviously, like Max was right. Liam is faster in the Visa Cash app.
Yeah.
He just couldn't drive that RB, and I think it's going
too
to
much
be
for him.
the right. I think it's the right decision. As much as I said last week, I was like, it's mean, it's bullying, it's all of that in between. It's been the right call.
Yeah. Think about it as well. I mean, I always think about how, like, Joanne, who we interviewed, we love her, from F1 Academy. It's a massive step going into, like, when she went from go-karting cars into an F4 car.
Oh, yeah, when they were just like, oh, yeah, you're driving the F4 car, Shane. She was like, what?
Yeah.
I haven't done that before.
Yeah. And so I think it's the exact same thing. I'm sure going from F4 to F3, F3 to F2, and then F2 to F1 is massive. And we already know that the Red Bull is a machine. The Red Bull car is a machine. But on top of that, like, think about how many more hours Yuki has had behind an F1 car versus what Liam has had. So I think it's a really good call. And yeah, I was a bit bummed that he didn't make it out of Q2. He still did relatively well, Yuki, and I'm just expecting a bit more from him. It was funny because I read this morning Isaac Hadjar was saying something like, oh yeah, I like the position that I'm in now, but I wouldn't say no to a call from Red Bull, which I'm like, Isaac, I love you, but no, just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I love the confidence.
And also I love, like, if we, you know, this is probably supposed to be in the social corner, but I think people need to follow Visa Cash app on TikTok.
Oh my
if you're on
gosh.
TikTok, but they are also putting the content on Instagram.
Yes.
They're doing this thing where they started it off with Yuki and Isaac of doing these like clips, voice
just
reading,
like trending
Kardashian moments, like you know, Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian and all of like their funny sayings.
Sorry, the best one was like when they were in Australia and he's like, I'm feeling really jet lagged because I just came back from Australia.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I just came back from Australia.
So it's just really funny, and Isaac is really, really great
Isaac
at
slays.
it. And they've now introduced Liam into it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should go follow it because it's actually really good content. It's funny, it's relevant, it's pop culture moments. They're really targeting, they know who their new audience is. They know that there's a lot of females that are now following F1, and they're trying to include them into those moments. So, snaps for Visa Cash App, social admin doing that.
Yes, good call.
Yep.
But yeah.
Did you see after the qualifying, by the way, that just how like excited Alonso was about Max's time? So when he was doing his interviews, he was like in a person. He and Alex Albon. Oh, maybe it was Carlos Sainz. Anyway, they're doing like their media interviews after qualifying, and they stopped and they're watching Max's time, and he like gets that fucking flying lap in quali, and they both go whoa. And they got really excited. Cute. And then during the interview afterwards, Alonso was like, I mean, it's just impressive. No one else can do that. Like, go him.
Oh, that's lovely.
It was like a real supporting moment.
Credit where credit is due.
Alonso is, oh my God.
What?
Look what is on the side of the road.
Oh my God, can we pick it up? Looks a bit dirty though.
1 second, pausing.
Yep.
All right, that was a great little stop.
Great little stop.
Helped by a stranger. Mush is going to be happy. Peter's going to be happy.
Patrick's happy.
It doesn't quite fit in the boot, but hey, we're making it work.
We're making it work.
I think that's just a good note to point
out. No,
out.
it actually fits really well. It's just slotted in. We just have to take the roof.
So how was the boot space in the Qashqai?
Large. It fits.
Okay, cool.
Large. It fits an entire police car. Kids' police car. So we're good.
I was going to say that.
It's a big
is
police car.
Is it a Jeep?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a
Okay.
Maybe it's the Temu version of Jeep.
All right. Back to the race.
Boring.
I mean, the only exciting part was when
lap 20 something.
Yeah, when Lando tried to come out of
the pit lane drama,
and it was clearly his fault because Max was on the same line and Max was already going. And
I just think
McLaren shouldn't have released him.
I don't think
they should know better.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily like a whole like this fault, that fault. It was more that just Max was more aggressive, and he's such an aggressive driver, and he just asserted his dominance.
But also, he held his line. He couldn't have stopped. He was already going.
Yeah. And that's, I think, as well where Lando. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, Lando was a very expensive lawnmower. Speaking of pit entry and exit, how funny was it when?
Oh my God, Carlos.
Carlos, we're at the back. Okay,
like,
do
Carlos,
another lap.
Yes. Carlos. Oh,
Box.
I missed it again.
Oh, shit. I thought we were at the front.
Lucky that was practice, not in the race. But yeah, for those that didn't see it, he obviously is not very used to his new colours, blue.
But I also don't think he's used to his position on the garages. So
yeah,
if you are new to F1, if you are depending where your team finishes during the constructors, aligns where your team sits on the garage in pit lane. And Carlos used to be towards the front, being in Ferrari, and now he's
towards the back,
being with Williams. So yeah, he missed that a couple of times, which is actually quite funny.
Carlos, well done.
So yeah, overall, very boring race. I'm glad the brothers, aka McLaren, got their 2-3. I mean, it was Oscar's birthday as well. Shout out.
And I don't know what are your thoughts, but I feel like McLaren should have let Oscar through.
I think they should have, but I also kind of feel like they're just going to
keep the peace because they don't want to ruffle Lando's
feathers.
feathers.
It's too early, and I think also the fact that, you know, Oscar had his win last week, Lando had it the week before. Like, they're just going to be like, let's just keep them going.
Yeah.
And keep them competitive against each other and also supporting each other. I don't know if it's like a mental game or something like that.
I think it's a mental game for Lando, but I think Oscar's eventually going to get sick of it.
And I think Lando's going to get sick of it.
Yeah, well, that too.
I think Oscar can see through it, and he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think Oscar cares too much. I think he's just like, I know I can
Keeping
win.
the peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knows he can be a world champion.
Lando, we beat world champion. We beat world... But...
I know, I mean, I think Oscar thinks he'll, like, you know,
Yeah, no, I think they'll both think that. I mean, they're both, you know, top of the ladder at the moment, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Max had tremendous pace. Also, actually, there was a very lovely moment when Kimi Antonelli was leading the race, and he broke a new record.
Yeah.
Officially, the youngest driver to lead a race. Do you know by how much he beat Max?
It's only a few days, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think...
Because they were saying that if Kimi... Because obviously Max is like the youngest race winner. If Kimi had won that race, he would have beaten that. But it was his last chance to do it. So I'm glad he got some sort of record.
I've got it here. So Max led. He was 18 years old, 7 months and 15 days. Kimi was 18 years old, 7 months, 12 days.
So funny.
At the Japan GP.
Good on him.
Good on him. And yeah, I did take a little video of that moment where Kimi
It was actually
leading.
quite, yeah, who was it? It was Kimi, Lewis, and then Isaac Hajar as 1, 2, 3 after everyone had pitted. And so they held that for like about 10 laps or something like that until they pitted it and it all like resorted itself back up. But this would be a cool podium.
That would be a very cool podium. Wishful thinking. Yeah, I think that's all we've got for the race, really. Not the most exciting race. Excited.
But it was, I mean, you had a great time. Like you said, it was the best time to be hosting an event because there was not much to pay attention to.
No, not much to pay attention to. But next week we're in Bahrain, baby.
I'd love to get to Bahrain.
Same.
One
Love
day.
to get to Bahrain heat as well. But have you got any predictions? Because I've got some.
Oh, let me hear yours because I haven't really had time to think about my predictions. So let's go with yours.
So, I mean, obviously we all know I'm a Ferrari gal. And yes, another dagger to the heart yesterday with their performance.
Yep.
But Ferrari did quite well at Bahrain testing. So, I like to think that maybe that could be a good indicator for Bahrain GP.
Well, I was going to say, I think it could... Lewis and Carlos, actually, now that you mentioned that, I think they're going to do quite well in Bahrain.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
actually,
them do well.
And another thing on the topic of Carlos, which we didn't mention, I know last week I was like, oh, Williams will get points. Albon did get points yesterday.
Huh.
Carlos did not, but Carlos did get a 5-place grid penalty. He also, I don't know if you saw this morning, his 20,000
he missed
euro fine.
Do you know why he missed the national anthem?
Because you're doing a pool.
Because he had the shit. He had tummy issues.
He had
and he
tummy
got
issues.
fined for taking...
Yeah.
He got fined $20,000, sorry,
Yes.
for having tummy issues. Oh my God.
And
he
a doctor cleared him as well. And
he
he got
could
a...
not be a girl because the amount of times girls have tummy issues and are late to things, I'm sorry. That was just mean.
I know.
You can't control your bowel movements.
And especially the fact, I mean, it's funny though that he was like, must get a note from the doctor. Got a note from the doctor, still didn't clear. I'm intrigued to know your thoughts on this one because I
know we're talking about predictions, but this is also like our random moment.
Yeah, sorry. And this can be the random moment of the week as well. But interested to know your thoughts. Does he deserve that penalty or not?
No.
Yeah. Okay,
No.
neither do I. The only thing is that I do think is that with everything to do with anthems, I know that it's like a very respected moment and that's probably why they were like, oh, it probably looked really bad and reflected badly on the team that he was
Yeah,
late.
and also because the Japanese culture is like they have so much respect. Like you do in any country with that culture, but the Japanese, like as part of like their culture, that is a big thing to them. And I get that.
Yeah.
And I get that.
But
But you cannot control when you need to poo sometimes. And if
Yeah.
it's really, really bad, then what are you going to do? Like imagine if he was standing there in the anthem and he pooped his pants. He pooped his race suit.
I mean, it would have been entertaining. But yes, I do agree. Poor thing. It is a tricky one. Like I you know how I used to do basketball court announcing, for those that don't know. And I would have to play the anthem and this is semi-professional and it was so respected when the anthem was played.
Yeah.
And that's semi-professional. So think about like a higher level and then there's, you know, the pinnacle in our eyes.
Yeah.
F1. So yeah, I don't think he deserved it, but I'd maybe just like a slap on the wrist or something, like don't shit yourself again. But yeah, so poor Carlos got his his 20,000 euro fine. But yes, so circling back to Bahrain, he did perform really well. Hopefully he does perform well this weekend and doesn't get any grid penalties and doesn't shit his pants either. But yeah, I do think that the Ferraris will do well. I think Mercedes will be more in that like mid, like from the fifth back.
Yep.
Because they didn't do that well in testing. But yeah, that's my prediction. I'm thinking like a Ferrari, McLaren, and Williams points, double points.
Nice. All right. Green flag, red flag.
Wait, you don't have a prediction?
No, I just said I'm going with yours because I haven't really had time to think about it.
Yeah. Also, actually, there were no DNFs in Japan GP. Green flag and red flag for the week. Maybe you go first.
Green flag. Ooh, I actually stayed at the Carlos Hotel in Brisbane the last few days, which was really, really lovely. If you haven't been there, it's just like this beautiful hotel done by an architect called Greya. It's quite famous from Fortitude Valley. That was really nice, just working from there. It's a beautiful setting and the food in Fortitude Valley is amazing. I unfortunately have had many red flags this week and I won't really go into the detail. There's like a lot of personal things going on. Like unfortunately had loss of my beautiful godfather and a few other things going on. So it's not been the most fantastic time, but hey, that's what it is. And if anyone is ever experiencing severe burnout or has experienced it, I am going through that at the moment, so it's very easy for me to have a very quick nervous breakdown, and I am currently, and I think it's not something to be ashamed of, and I just want to say this, and it's something that I am actively seeking some help for, and I have some things coming up which will be sort of taking through that. And if you want to know why I have burnout, you can reach out to me. But essentially I have 4 small businesses. Obviously Paddock, I've got Principal, I am a marketing consultant, and I'm a photographer. So I'm juggling many balls. And I work many hours, and I have like left my social and family life to the bits. So that's fun. Anyway, it's something to be ashamed of.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
No.
Whoever thinks that can go
I think,
sit in Carlos Sainz's toilet.
I think when people hear burnout, they always like, I put like a question box up, like just on Instagram, being like, okay, what tips and tricks do people do? And a lot of people just go, oh, just make sure you're getting enough sleep. And I'm like, that's not my issue. Like,
there's no time to sleep.
I was like, I do sleep. I sleep, 10:30 to 6 a.m. most nights. Like, I'm actually pretty good at that, but I work up until that point, and when I do sit down for dinner, like that's when I'm just like not present whatever I'm doing. So just something to be mindful of if you are experiencing burnout. Look out for the signs, because I could see it coming a couple of weeks ago and I didn't do anything about it. And now here we are.
Yes.
What about you, Patty?
My green flag for the week, probably just our viewing party yesterday, seeing our community.
I wish I was there.
I know, but you were there in spirit.
I was there on social media, so if you were messaging on Instagram, you were messaging me.
Yes, and lots of people were like, send our love to Elle, send our love to Elle. So you were there in spirit. But yeah, viewing party yesterday, that was fantastic. Yeah, just love hanging out with that community, and always such a vibe. And my red flag... my red flag. I mean, I'm not experiencing burnout, so I can't say that, but I do feel like
you are tired because
yeah,
Wish is not sleeping.
Yeah, and also I do feel like I am potentially getting sick. I did have like tickets to this Latin event on Friday night, and I was like, I can't go because I can't risk being sick for Sunday.
Yeah.
And so I've just had this like annoying, which thank God I didn't go out, because if not I would have been like proper sick. But I'm very congested at the moment, and just lots of liquid.
Congested sisters.
Yeah, lots of liquid in areas. Which sounds disgusting.
Turning into winter.
Yeah. So that's probably my red flag. I'm sure there's another one, but I can't think of it. So
that's all right.
Yeah,
I've got enough negative things going on for both.
She does. She can take the reins. But yes. But anyway, I think that's all we got time for. I'm really excited for Bahrain. It's at a appropriate time, 10 o'clock.
If you haven't also, everyone, listen to Luke Smith's interview.
Yes.
We hadn't actually advertised that it was out just because we posted it like a day late.
Yeah.
And I just wanted everyone to get through Japan weekend. But quite a few people have actually found the episode already and sent us messages saying that it was just super interesting to hear the insight from someone that is behind the scenes.
Yes.
So
For those that don't know, Luke Smith is a F1 journalist.
And he's also got a book out, but our interview, he gives a snippet of what's inside the book, and just some of the issues that he goes through.
And also some fun stories. And it's such, I actually haven't had a read of the book yet, so I need to get my hands on your copy.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds like such an interesting book and very fun chapter names as well.
Very fun.
Yes,
You'll hear that in the interview.
You will hear that in the interview. But yes, if you haven't had a listen, jump on across and listen to that. And
don't forget to like and subscribe.
And all of the above. But thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I know if I ever see the light, I'll be up in the club and so